Great evening, everyone. Great evening. Welcome to Thankful Thursday. I am one of your amazing hosts, Angela Marino.
And hi, this is Connie Kinney, your other host.
And Monique
Marino.
We got the echo, and we have a second co-host, half pint, 2.5, Layla. All right, you guys. So we have a treat for you this Thankful Thursday. So it's the last day of Black History Month, and we're embarking right into Women History Month immediately after. So we're so excited to bring this queen to the stage. We're going to honor the amazing, the remarkable, the epic, the infamous, the famous, the best to ever do it in the entire world of Mary Kay, Gloria Mayfield Banks. So I wanted to, we're going to let a video run that she did a couple of years ago. Just depicting her entire story, because what we want you to gain out of this is basically understanding how this company has chosen people. It's just like you thought you did a thing, but it chose you, and how God leads you in the right direction without you even knowing, but just being a willing participant in all that you do. So without further ado, I'll get started with prayer, and then we'll get right into the video. It's about 33 minutes long, but it is such a worthy watch, and I definitely want everybody to lock in on their ears and their eyes. So as we enter in a word of prayer, I want you to silence yourself and just bow your heads for a moment. Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you on this Thankful Thursday. Thank you for the connections, Lord. Thank you for this group of Thankful Thursday hostesses, Lord. Thank you for my business partners that make me better every day, Lord. We thank you for your guidance. We thank you for waking us up this morning, Lord. And as always, we ask that you lead us in the right direction, that you'd have us go, so that we can give to your people what it is that you want them to hear, Lord. Let the ears be captive, rather it be a live ear listening or someone that is watching a replay. It's in your name, Jesus, that we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, you guys, and get this video started. Let's see here. I always have to kind of like figure it out while I'm figuring it out. Okay. And of course, it's not on the screen because that would just be too much like, right? All right, guys, there it is. All right, hang on 2 seconds for me. About to pull it up now. Okay. All right, we're going to make this little screen.
Living, caring, giving, sharing. Boy, oh boy, I love to work with the daring. A magic million? Can you imagine such?
Wait.
You can't. Rock the touch. I'm small in stature only, but I'm heavy in belief. I'm leading by example, so you can count on me as I flash this $1 million smile. The world will know it's all worthwhile, because I'm banking on the magic, banking on
Okay, guys. Apparently we're having a little technical difficulty where the video is frozen. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back up again and see how it goes. So give me a moment. All right. Okay, because it's critical to see this video, so I knew. Okay, guys. Apparently we're having a little technical. That's me watching. Okay. All right. So hang on 2 seconds. Let me get this up. Okay. All right. Let's try it now. Let's share it.
Okay, Gloria Mayfield Banks, the only take. Living, caring, giving, sharing. Boy, oh boy, I love to work with the daring. A magic million? Can you imagine such? Of course you can. We've got the touch. I'm small in stature only, but I'm heavy in belief. I'm leading by example.
All right. Not sure what's happening with the video. Why it's not playing where you can hear it. So we're trying to figure that part out real quick. But I definitely want you to hear the story.
Because I did a book report.
Because I can hear it on my
Panama
end.
Canal.
So let's see.
And my teacher called my mother about this book report. My writing was off. My spelling was extremely challenging.
I'm not sure what's
But it was sort of funny because I
because it's not
remember
playing
how
the sound, but I hear the sound clearly on my end. But I'm on our Facebook Live group and I see that it's not playing the sound. So if anyone is live watching, can you hear the sound? I'm not sure. So I don't know. I could hear her in the background, in my background. That's crazy. So I'm not certain why this video will not play. But if not, we'll go ahead and just talk to you a little bit about her story. But I did not want to speak. I wanted her to speak for herself. And this is so very disappointing. So hang on. So let me see. But we're gonna try, and try again. Because we have about 50 minutes. And I know my two co-hostesses are trying to help as well and see what they can do. Audio, because I tested this. Trust me, I'm not just getting on here. We tested this. We know exactly what it should be doing. But a lot of people have not seen it, even the ones that have seen it in the past. It's a good listen. Um, okay, let's try again.
It came to light why testing was so difficult for me, why I developed the gift of we found out that it was a disorder. What was amazing was the way my parents handled it so that I never got bullied, I never got teased. It was something at that time in my life I tried to cover up. We found out that it was and so I really do believe that's why I got the gift of personality. Because I did not have the gift of showing up in schoolwork. They kept telling me I was smart. That was important. It was important that they kept telling me that I was smart, even though the books didn't tell me I was smart. And that was important for me. So it's a really big deal because a lot of people had talked about what it was going to be like. We had to take a different bus and we were going to go way out into the community. And see, that was big coming from a city like Detroit, because Detroit in our mind was the African-American city. I was captain of the cheerleaders. No surprise. But it was sort of funny because I remember how ambitious I became at winning. And I was a captain of cheerleader, and we were going for state champs in a school that we integrated. And we were going to play in that environment. It was a big deal. I tell people that's where my appetite for ambition was developed, because it was recognition based. And what was exciting for me is I had to help others become their best. People laugh when they know that I used to work seriously at a grocery store. Yes. This is where I really saw my people skills. Whatever lane they put me in, people would be in that lane. I saw the power of making other people feel great. What I discovered about myself is that I really loved to work, and I really loved to work overtime. Like, I want to study and I want to work. I want to study and I want to work. So when the rest of my friends were sororities or hanging out, doing parties, I wanted to work. Wow. Why did I want to work so much? At that time in my life, it wasn't so much that I wanted a lot of money. I really liked to work. I really liked to be around people who liked to make things better. I wanted our grocery store to be the best grocery store. Isn't that crazy? If they said, where's the crackers? I'm like, oh, aisle 6, you know? One leadership lesson from the grocery store manager was do your best even if people are not watching. And so I saw how he instilled in us a desire to want to be our best. I was motivated by the excellence of the possibility of Harvard. So I applied. My mother was so shocked. I mean, she was like, I can't believe you got into Harvard. But I did. And I went. And they did not know I was dyslexic when I walked into the doors. And he said, Gloria, if this doesn't change, you're going to flunk out of finance. No one was going to fight for me. I had to fight for myself. And I had to convince him that I was worth passing. And I had to convince him that I would do whatever you asked me to do. I just couldn't read the words. Reading the words does not have to do with understanding the concept. And so I had to make sure that they understood that. I had a woman who became one of my best friends. Her name's Juliana, and my daughter is named after her. And Juliana was so magnificent because she read to me every day for 2 years. She would read the case studies to me. I would explain the case studies to her. It was a strong lesson in you have time to help other people and still get your job done. So she read to me and I helped her, and we'd stay up nights to get it done. I told her I was naming my daughter after her, and I remember her eyes filling up with tears. I remember that. My daughter being named Juliana is a reminder of someone who reached into my heart and gave me time when we didn't have any time. When everybody doesn't think you have time, when you give them a little bit of time, it makes them feel amazing. The night before my wedding, I was back in Detroit, of course, and my girlfriend was having a party, and I wanted to go to the party, but he didn't want to go. So I said I was going to go. And it was at that moment he told me he was going to hit me. He was clear, and he told me, I'm going to beat you if you go to that party. And I remember exactly where I was standing. I said, no, you're not. My father's in the house. You're not going to do anything to me. I'm going to the party. So I went to the party. I gave him back the ring. We broke up that night. I didn't tell anybody. I came back home from the party, and he was waiting for me. And he was mad, but we talked. We got back together. I should have known at that time that it wasn't good. He'd already had anger issues that I had seen. And I did not see a bad marriage before. You know, my parents' friends, divorce wasn't a part of my reality. Right before I walked down the aisle, my father turned to me and he said, if you want me to go out and tell all those people that you don't want to get married, that's fine. I'll do it. There were 700 people waiting. I have no clue how my father knew to ask me that question. I honestly believe it was God, but I didn't pay attention. And I said, no, Daddy, I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, forget the fact that he told me last night he was going to beat me or hit me. He would yell at me horribly yell at me. I'd cry. I can't even tell you the number of times that I would feel amazing at work and feel extremely small at home. We'd have a huge argument, and I would be crying all the way to work. And I'd hit that parking lot, and I would become Gloria. And I'd walk into that job, and I would handle it. Image right, energy right, everything right. Smart on it. Get home and hear the door turn. And my mind would go into say the right thing, do the right thing, be pleasant, don't say this, just all these check marks I would do. to be the right, perfect person that I could never become. Because when that door knob turned, I knew something was going to happen every day, every time. So, but again, I'm a fighter. I'm smart. I'm going to figure this out. And I couldn't. So you get a little misunderstanding what domestic violence is. You know, the last thing I want to do is argue. And so I would only fight back when I'm pushed into a corner. And so he would push me into the corner on purpose. That's domestic violence. And if you don't see it, you don't know it. There were so many signs that I was in an abusive relationship that it's challenging for me because it is contradictory to the fact that I'm smart. If you're smart, why did you not know that this was wrong? If you're smart, why didn't you just get out of there? So I can see it now. So we were married 6 years before I had Juliana. I had some pregnancies before that. But abuse started in our relationship prior to me getting married. I was only strong enough to get out after I had my children. And they were 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. And I immediately saw what was happening. I saw their future. I saw that if I didn't move, if I didn't find the courage, this was going to happen to them. So I did not have the ability to leave for myself, but I found the strength to leave for them. If I could tell myself anything, tell people. You don't have to be the strong person. There are other people that are stronger than you in different areas. You don't have to be the strongest in everything. There's nothing right about letting people treat you wrong. I got introduced to Mary Kay at a very pivotal time in my life. It's amazing how that happens for us. And I knew the marriage was bad. And I knew it was going to end soon. I didn't know when it was going to end. So when I went to that skincare class, I remember sitting at that table saying to myself, I'd love to make some extra money. I'm going to need some extra money. I have absolutely no time. I remember in my head having a conversation before they offered me the opportunity, everything. I have no time. I was a well-paid, hardworking already executive businesswoman. But I saw them making extra money. I mean, really. I mean, it wasn't this big thing. People say, like, how'd you come into Mary Kay? Wow. I was like, I went to a skincare class and I was having fun and I had no intention of buying anything. And I bought some, and all my girlfriends who didn't have any money, they bought some too. And so I was like, oh, this works. Really, it was so, I really leaned over to my kids and said, we're going to sell Mary Kay. Because they were there with me because we were at my girlfriend's house 2 doors down. And we always hung out there. And looking back, I hung out there because her house was happy and my house was not. When the Mary Kay women were there, it was an energy. It was a joy. It was happiness. So that's why I started. When I went to my very first meeting, I said to myself, no one in here knows me. No one knows my background. I don't have to explain myself. I'm not Harvard. I'm not the executive woman. I'm not the mother in an abusive situation. I'm not unhappy Gloria. I'm just Gloria. And really quickly, my why became fun. My why became joy. Mary Kay played such a major role in my ability to create what I call my happy life. I saw women who were happy to have businesses at home so they could be with their husbands more, when I would do anything not to be at home. So every time I looked around, there was example after example after example of women who had great relationships. When I became a single parent, I became a very happy single parent. I had a great relationship with my kids, great relationship with my friends, great relationship with my Mary Kay girlfriends. I became happy. And it was because of those two children that I learned how to be a great single mother. And I fell in love with my husband, Ken. And it was because of those children, because I took them on vacation, that they led me to the love of my life. When he met me, the first thing he said was, I have never met such a happy single mother. And I can honestly tell you, it is because of the choice of this career that I was a happy single mother. Ken loves the lifestyle of Mary Kay. He loves the excitement of Mary Kay. He loves the race of Mary Kay. He loves to travel. You should have seen his reaction when we walked into the suite, the $1 million suite in Milan. I mean, it permeates through everything. Because I'm a better person. I'm a better person. And he got a better person because of Mary Kay. I have a happy home. I have a phenomenal relationship with my husband, phenomenal relationship with my kids. My children are so encouraging. I believe they got the gift of encouragement by being around the Mary Kay environment. I would say that relationships are to give you joy. Even if they're challenging, you have to decide whether you're fighting for a better relationship or are you fighting to save yourself. A relationship is supposed to make each person better. If you don't fight for your heart, how do you expect anybody else to fight for your heart? And if you don't fight for your heart, you'll lose your heart. And I lost mine, but I got it back. I remember walking into my very first Mary Kay meeting. Hi! Hi! Everybody was so huggy and happy. And I was so taken back by that. I was like, oh no, no. No need for a hug. Here's a chair. So I really did. I felt uncomfortable. I sat like this. I was like, where am I at? I don't understand. And they had started talking about their success. And again, everybody was laughing and they were clapping. And I was like, hey. And I'm telling you, in that same meeting, I stood up and started hugging somebody in the same meeting. And then I turn around and become a sales director and create that exact environment over and over and over again. Next thing you know, I'm hugging, smiling, laughing, clapping. It was awesome. It was really crazy. I walked in the doors because I could increase my income, but I fell in love with the career because of the recognition. And I grew in the career because of the competition. For me, the competition meant personal growth. But I remember it was like my first or second meeting, and I walked into the meeting with my girlfriend, Jackie, and I said to her, who are those women sitting in the front of the room? Why do they have on red jackets? And why are we sitting in the back of the room? I belong in the front of the room. I knew I belonged in the front of the room. Different things drive different people, and I was driven by sitting in the front of the room. I was driven by winning. I'm just blessed that I did not get crushed by people who tell me no. I just got lifted by people who said, thank you, Gloria, thank you. It was pretty cool. I knew I had to draw to me ambitious women like myself. I really knew that. I'd say, if you don't want more, it's not my responsibility to teach you that you deserve more for yourself and your family. It's my responsibility to find women who really know they want more. And if I have to go through and introduce myself to more women who want more, that's why the beginning of my skincare class became so tight. I wanted to be able to put my attention on who was in front of me and not what I was saying. Meeting Mary Kay Ash herself. I totally remember the first time I saw her. It was at my first seminar. My director kept saying, you got to go to seminar. 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 She said it so much I thought my name was, you got to go to seminar. I was like, I'm not going to seminar. I don't have money to go to seminar. I'm not going to seminar. So she kept saying, you got to go to seminar. So I go to seminar and I walk into the convention center and everybody there is taking pictures of the empty stage. I mean, pictures. I was like, this is so crazy. And then Mary Kay Ash stepped out on stage. I tell you, I immediately stood on a chair, grabbed my skirt and said, Mary Kay, I love you. I mean, I fell in love with her immediately. I so remember that. I remember going to Dallas for a meeting at my other job. I said, I'm going to sneak over after the meeting and go to the Mary Kay headquarters. And I was just sitting in the middle of the lobby. And Mary Kay came through the lobby and I ran over there. I lost all professionalism. I ran, Mary Kay! It's so ridiculous. And so anyway, I mean, her hands were soft as butter. And she grabbed my face. And I said, Mary Kay, my name is Gloria. And I live in Boston. And you know, she asked me a couple questions. I can't even remember what she said, but I just remember her saying, and I know you'll be great. And I know you'll be great. I mean, she looked me dead in my eyes. And she said, I know you'll be great. It was awesome. And I am. I was a DIQ 3 times. I kept falling off, And then I went to a retreat in January. And at the end of this retreat, you know, they play that sappy song and everybody's crying. And I was crying too. Like, I'm going to be great. You know, sappy song. I said to myself, Gloria, this is ridiculous. You got to get it together. I so remember that. There's nothing more powerful than a made up mind. And so I went to work the way I was supposed to work, not the way I wanted to work, the way it said to work in the consultant's guide. I went back there and I started doing that work. What I did differently that I wasn't willing to do before I had that made up mind was I became extremely consistent on tracking the week. I didn't wait to the end of the month. I was doing it all the time. I became so less distracted. And I stopped taking advice from everybody. Everybody was telling me what to do. I was like, I shut down everything and everybody. It was in those decisions that other people weren't willing to make, and those decisions that I wasn't willing to make before made a difference. I sold correctly. I booked correctly. I interviewed correctly. And the results came correctly. What makes Gloria strong now is I embrace what makes me strong, and I'm unapologetic. I like the race, and I tell people I like the race. But one of the reasons I like the race so much is because I honestly believe that when I am in a race, anybody who races with me becomes better. I mean, my body movement even starts to shake when I think about it. I like to win, and I like other people to win because you get celebrated in this business. I don't go where I'm tolerated. I go where I'm celebrated. So when I'm on the phone talking to people, I'm laughing. When I'm mentoring, I'm happy. Awesome now, because now I can do it in English, in Spanish, in Portuguese, and I can see their light bulb go on. And it's the pink light bulb. And when it goes on, I'm happy. And that makes me successful. I had to become really good at listening. I had to really learn the art of asking questions and really hearing them. It's much harder to get to the heart of somebody when you're asking them to change first. I learned that making myself more like them versus making them or requiring them or even asking them to be more like me. I want to meet you where you are. I want to know who you are. I want to know what brings you joy. I want to know how I can bring you joy in that arena. We have to be able to talk, and we have to be able to disagree. It's not important that we agree. What's important is that I am able to tell you what I think, and you're able to tell me what you think. And that way, it's not personality driven. And I pray in the morning a lot about, God, take away my ego and let me hear the other person. And I am always starving to learn more about how I can be a better leader. Every single day for 2 years. For 2 years for me to get through it. Telling my story from the stage is big because I remember hearing other people's stories and how their stories impacted me so deeply. And because of Mary Kay, I've been able to tell my story, and I was able to find the strength to tell the real story, to see what a difference it made. So now I teach other people. Win, so you can tell your story. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. You just don't necessarily have the platform to tell the story. So my responsibility as a role model in the African American community is big for me because I don't think everybody understands it. Because for me, it is an example for African American as much as it is an example for everyone who's not African American. All of us have thoughts about other cultures. And when you see someone who is successful in another culture, everyone starts to believe more in that other culture. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of expectation. It's a lot of desire that when you're at this level, you want other people at this level with you. No matter what the race, you want them at this level. But when you're the first African American at this level, you're opening the door for others to do the same. One of my favorite examples was when I took my daughter to college, her first year. And so I leaned over to the registrar office and I said, how much does it cost for her to attend college here for the amount? And I'd like to know her tuition and her books and her food, everything. And the lady looks up at me and she immediately looks at me and she says, you need to go down the hall to financial aid and they'll put you on a plan. And I immediately looked at her and said, I don't need a plan. I need the amount. And I was able to write a check for the entire amount. In that moment, I felt again, whew, Gloria, you made a good decision. Whew, Gloria, I'm so glad you didn't listen to so many people. Wow, Gloria, up late at night, carrying all those boxes, calling one more time. Seriously, in that moment, really, I was like, I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I did. God has played a role in my success so many ways. I first want to say that he has shown up more through Mary Kay because of the people that I'm around and how they have shown me how he's played a role in their life. So they've been a role model to me because of the way that God has shown up and the way they talk about it. I love turning to God on the good times and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do. And I love knowing I can turn to God when it's hard. There's no way that I could have this much joy or this much passion or this much success or these many choices if God was not priority in my life and my dreams. My journey to this place has been one where I have celebrated being almost the queen, almost number one. I started calling myself the queen of almost because I was almost number one. I have run this race behind some heavy, heavy girlfriends who we played together and raced together. So I became the queen of almost for years. And now I'm the queen of the most. All day long. You too can be number two. When I first became a national and I debuted 6 amazing national sales directors, we were elite executives together. We were girlfriends. It was awesome. It was awesome. So I am totally looking for new national sales directors to come up. And I don't know why there haven't been any lately, but I can promise you it is getting ready to roll. Okay, because that's the playground I'm choosing to play in. So we're gonna play in developing more nationals. It is a priority.
You're number one for the Emerald Seminar and number one national nationwide.
But my next goal is to make sure that everybody else is excited to be number 2. That's my next goal. But my next goal and my next focus is to use these years and this wisdom really to identify women who want to be at the top of their game and are willing to do the work to get there. Become national sales directors, but to be top directors so that I can increase their influence on more people. The legacy I leave is how many people were touched by me that could touch a whole lot more people. I'm so proud to be before you. I'm so proud to be top rank. I'm elite executive, national sales director. My name is Gloria Mayfield Banks.
Amazing. I can watch that over and over and over. Man, that gave me the chills. I love it. The story is so strong, man. Domestic violence is real. You don't have to look like domestic violence. Look at her. Number one in the nation of Mary Kay. Domestic violence is real, and you don't have to even look how beautiful she is in the background of us.
She
We don't
found
have
her joy. She found her
right.
joy.
We don't have to look like what we've been through. Not at all.
So I hope you caught this humble story of Gloria Mayfield Banks, and that's why we said titled this one "The $1 Million Dream," because she never thought of herself as that. She never even thought about Mary Kay, makeup, skincare. No, this woman went to school to get an MBA and to prove to her parents that she could be successful even though she had a learning disability. And she proved that. And through that drive of being able to be proven on what she could do, she persevered somewhere where God wanted her to be. And the reason why we plant the Lord in the center of this business is because that is the mantra of the creator who created this business. All right. This lady believes in putting God first, family second, and everything else after that, your career third. And like some of us like to say, not 33rd, but third, okay? You need your career to survive and to take care of your family, but it is truly a blessed business. So if you are looking for more, if you've never seen yourself, because I can guarantee you the 3 women you're looking at on this screen right now did not think about Mary and Kay at all either. We're true believers, just like Gloria, and looking at her, she gives us this overwhelming belief that we can too do this. And so this is the journey that we're on. This is why I definitely wanted to bring her story to the forefront tonight on this last day, this leap year day, happy leap day. Um, because it's so critical that as Black people particularly that we understand the assignment. It's not female only, it's males for males too. I'm looking for the men to rise up and can really see themselves um, in this blessed business. It's a platform. I think she talked a little bit about um, the platform. Like people didn't have platform to be who they are. I'm sitting here taking notes like I never watched this thing. I have pages of notes just based on the topic she talked about. You know, are you that person that may be in an abusive relationship or marriage? You have kids, don't know how to find your way out. We have so many cells, and believe me, Gloria is just the biggest one to do it. That's why she's being highlighted. But Connie and I tell you, there's never a corporate trip that we go on where we don't hear tear jerking stories of sales directors. Monica tell you, we've heard some stories. One of my favorite is Kathy Halou. And later down, probably Women History Month, which is in the next 12 hours or so, we'll highlight other women that did it, Black, white, all colors, who has done it in the midst of the most horrendous life crises you could imagine. And Kathy Halou was number two to Gloria the whole time they were running like this as elite national sales directors in this business. And her story is crazy. She started Mary Kay because she won a starter kit on The Price is Right. So you definitely got to hear that story because it's crazy. She was going to rehab for drinking addiction and ended up just getting out before she was checked into the rehab and won her starter kit on The Price is Right and became a multi-millionaire in this business and ended up not going to the sober house, but being sober in this business. The stories, and they're amazing, and they're people just like you and I. I don't know why we get this notion that when you see people successful, that they just arrived. No, they were birthed in this world just like you and I, and some of them have the more tragic stories of life where you may not have that story. Gloria life didn't necessarily start tragic. She just had some learning disabilities. She had amazing parents. She come from a middle class upbringing, but she had her hardships when she became an adult and on her own through this abusive marriage. But I am so honored to have presented this, and I pray that you see yourself in this business. Rather you've tried Mary Kay before and it didn't work out for you for whatever reasons that may have been, or if you've never tried it before and you are seeking to start a business, you just don't know what that is, this is probably it. And if you keep showing up and you keep looking at our beautiful faces Thursday after Thursday, it's probably tugging at your heart. Because that's what it did to all three of us. All three of us, we just could not just leave it alone. Some of us said yes immediately, and some of us, was just like it was a tug, and we knew. I think Monique is the tugger. Connie and I kind of, when we were offered the opportunity, we kind of jumped in. But I think Monique was that one, like, she was kind of forced in, but it was tugging at our heart the whole time. But you guys, I am so excited about what I just saw. It makes me so emotional, and I had to like really reel myself in and collect myself. But we didn't want to do a whole lot of talking. Um, I just kind of want to hear Connie told you how she felt about it. Monique, if you want to jump in and say something, I know she's got my sweet grandbaby and she may not want to wake her up. So I understand if you don't want to talk, but it's critical that you really understand what this business can provide for you and your family. Because it doesn't matter if you know anything about skin, none of that matters, because none of us knew anything. And I'm a cosmetologist, I just focused on hair. I did not deal with the skin part until later on in my career. But it doesn't matter. None of that matters. This company, we train you, we support you, and as an individual group, as a national area, and then down to individual units, you have this big, huge, what is it called? Village of supporters that are just rooting for you. And you don't get that at the job. Usually, when you're the new person on a job, they're like, where she came from, who hired her. They look at you as a threat. Your job title could be totally different than the person that's already there, but they automatically see you as a threat, and they automatically want to set a trap for you to fall in, that you will not succeed in that company. It's crazy how people are crabs in a barrel and don't want to see others succeed. And it's not necessarily a cultural thing, it's a thing, period. It's really crazy out there. So I am so glad to be delivered from the job working for other people, because that is not where your wealth lies. Your wealth lies when you work for yourself. Because you work for them, they are wealthy. They understood. They're the entrepreneurs. You're the worker bee. So the difference is they get to sit on an island. They get to take off when they want. They get to do all the things that you are dreaming of doing, but you have to punch a clock. You have to do what you're told. And when you don't show up, or when you make a mistake, you hear about it. You either get laid off, written up, or fired. And those are your options. But when you work for yourself, you're not getting fired. You can't get laid off. It's your business. And Mary Kay is your individual business. We choose to work as a group so that we could help each other, lift each other, help each other get to the pinnacle of this company, because we're going places. We're going places, and we're going where Gloria has been. And now Gloria is a retired elite executive national sales director. After her tenure in Mary Kay, she continues to motivate other women in this elite position in this company. She retired with her highest earning of $14 million, people. She has earned the most money of any individual in the history of Mary Kay Cosmetics. That is wow. That is just crazy, right? 14 million. It's provable. All you have to do is Google Gloria Mayfield Banks, and so many things are going to pop up. You're going to be able to read all about her life and her story and the proven records that she has broken. She has broken many, but records are meant to be broken. So someone will come behind and exceed all of the things that she did. And guess what? She welcomes it. She's not like, who's going to take my throne? No, she's passing the torch. So that's what we do in this business. So just imagine yourself in an atmosphere where someone is like so happy to see you, opposed to sucking their teeth and rolling their eyes and calling your name wrong on purpose so you could feel some type of way and not showing you where the bathroom at. So they don't want to eat lunch with you, not giving you all the good things. But in this business, this is what we do. We want to see you win, because our success builds upon one another. It builds. What is there to get to the pinnacle somewhere when you can't take someone with you? Being at the top can be a lonely place, but we try to take everyone to the top. So everybody's up there like, hey, y'all, come on, come on, come on. This is what we do. And this is what Thankful Thursday is about. This is one of those climbing and lifting each other experiences. We learn so much from each other every Thursday that we get on here. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to the beautiful Connie Kenny. And she's just going to tell you, with the last 2 minutes that we have on the clock, how you can get started in Mary Kay.
All right, all right, all right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this last day of leap month, and also Black History Thursday, for Thankful Thursday. So, the opportunity, there are three ways that you can join this amazing business. Can you put 3 ways that you can join this amazing business? Can you put the screen up? There we go. All right, so there's 3 options here. The first option is that you can join Mary Kay with an e-start. You can start it as an e-start, Mary Kay e-start. That we play the screen is moving. Oh my god. Okay, so there's 3
It's
ways
a
that you can
video. It's a video, Connie. If you're more comfortable with me doing it, I can. It's not a problem. But it's a video, so it's gonna go in and out.
Oh, that's what is going on. Okay.
Yes. I can
All
put
right.
that
So
on a
it's
more
the 3
permanent
ways you can
list.
join. You can join with an e-start, and it's $35 to join. Then you have the next level, which is I can't remember, Angel. If you want to go ahead and go from here.
No problem. So your first one is your eStart for $35. Your eStart comes with your website, your ProPay plan, which is basically your credit card processor. And then the second option is your eStart Plus, which is $45, and that comes with a bundle of samples that you can get along with everything that comes with the eStart. Then your third option is our $90. Is it 90 or 95? $90 option. So that's your big option. That's the option we want you to take. That's the option that comes with the full size products, so that you can do your launch parties, your facial parties, your hostess parties, and try the product for yourself. And it also comes with those samples, your eStart and your website. I'm sorry, your website and your ProPay, so that you can process credit cards. So I'll show you again. This is a video. I don't know why I put it in a video, so I apologize again for that, Connie, because I know it was going kind of fast. But these are your options here: 35, 45, 90. And those are the items that you get. So even with the eStart, you'll get a little literature and a couple of little small samples, but not nearly enough. So we only recommend that if you've been in Mary Kay before. But these are a few ways that we sell in 3 streams of income, which is your sales, team building, and the car program. The reason why we call the car program a part of your earning is because that's free money, basically. So if you have a car and you're paying a car note, you can take the financial option for your car. For the Grand Achiever, I think it's $495. For the Premier Club car, which is the SUV, I believe that one is $595. And then the Cadillac is $995 in your pocket if you decide not to take the car. So those are options. So if you have a fly car like Connie, you always hear me talk about her car, you can take that option and put it towards your car note for that vehicle, or you can drive the Mary Kay car. I always suggest take the company car, because you can even, put your kids on it if you have senior high school, college kids need an extra car. That is perfect for your family, or pass your current car on to them. You drive your marketing on wheels. So those are the options, you guys. I pray that you take advantage of this amazing opportunity called Mary Kay. It's your own business. We can work with you. You don't have to know anything but how to read. I would suggest. And listen, be teachable. We always say be teachable, coachable, and trainable, and you'll be able to do this business. Gloria said you too can be number two. Look, who wouldn't want to be number two to a multi-millionaire? Millionaire me up, baby. I'll take number 5 if I'm in that top 5 of those millions. I'll take that seat all the way to the number 1. But we are winners, you guys. So we want you to focus on that winning spirit that you have. And we're going to tell you good night. Love you guys. And I pray that you join us. I pray that you join us.
Good night, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you next month and a new month, March.
Women's Month. We'll be celebrating women all month long. Good night, everyone.